Michael Penix got selected 8th overall by the Atlanta Falcons. Penix, Washington quarterback, has dealt with some injuries over the course of his career, which I guess deterred a lot of teams supposedly, but somehow the Falcons thought that they were going to go Green Bay 2.0 and select Michael Penix to be the succession plan to Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, as we know in this offseason, signed a massive deal, 4 years, $180 million with $100 million guaranteed, and there's really no potential out for a couple of years now, which made a lot of people curious on why the hell they would draft Michael Penix in number 8.
Me included.
Yeah, I think a lot of people include everybody. So I want to know, do you think the Falcons maybe made a mistake by drafting Penix or just the quarterback in general at number 8?
Absolutely. I don't know why they did that. I think that Kirk Cousins is signed for 4 years. He's a proven pro. He did have the Achilles injury last year. He should recover from that. He didn't know about it, and they made him angry. Not only should they have not picked a quarterback, but they shouldn't have made their number one free agent signing, $180 million contract, 4-year deal, angry at them. Okay? I'm sure he's upset by it. He didn't even know the Falcons were on until the Falcons were on the clock, right? And there's frustration and confusion, I understand, in the Kirk Cousins camp because they thought that they'd use the pick to make the team better. I mean, they need other players. They need players on defense. I had them going with an edge rusher. I thought they would strengthen the defense, and they picked a player who isn't even going to be on the field for maybe 4 years. It makes no sense to me. I'm sorry.
It is a shocking pick. So the potential out, according to Spotrac, is 2027 when the dead cap money only goes to 12.5 compared to 25, or I think it's 35 million actually in 2026. So 2027 is the next potential out. So Penix will be 26 years old by 2027. And not only that, it's a horrible time to really let go of a lot of players because that season, the amount of free agents that are coming up in 2027, or that at least they need to pay. Because if he's there, that's the 4th year. You're going to need to determine whether or not you're going to pick up his 5th-year option. So in 2027, that's Kirk Cousins' first out year. You also have Jake Matthews, your phenomenal left tackle. You have Jesse Bates, your safety, who will be a free agent that year. You have Darnell Mooney, who you picked up this free agency. He'll be a free agent. Drake London, who you drafted, he'll be a free agent. Bijan Robinson, you'll need that would be his 5th-year option year. You're going to be paying a lot of these guys.
That's crazy. That's an excellent point. Okay, and they may have to decide on a 5th-year option for this guy when he may not have even played a snap.
Right.
Come on. It's ridiculous. And you're picking the successor to Kirk Cousins before he even plays a snap for you? That's crazy. I don't get it. And these guys, there's some crazy ego type thing there that doesn't make any sense. I mean, they didn't pick Bill Belichick to be their head coach. One reason they didn't want him doing the draft, right? And we've criticized Bill Belichick's drafting. I guarantee you he wouldn't have taken a quarterback. He would not have. He would have taken a defensive edge rusher, and that would have been the right move.
I would agree with you there. So, as you mentioned, Kirk Cousins didn't know until they were on the clock about to submit the pick. And what his agent actually came out and said, and I quote this, "Yes, it was a big surprise. We had no idea this was coming. The truth is the whole league had no idea this was coming. We got no heads up. Kirk got a call from the Falcons when they were on the clock. That was the first we heard of it. It never came up in any conversation." And supposedly, a source said that Kirk Cousins is as shocked and disappointed as he's ever been.
Yeah.
Never said anything to him or his reps about a QB1 in the first round, despite suggesting that they never said anything to him or his reps about a QB in the first round, despite suggesting they would. I don't understand what that quote was. That's from Jane Slater. Yeah. But yeah, no. Right before the Atlanta Falcons picked, Adam Schefter came on and said, "Expect a quarterback," and I'm like, why? They were.
I know. I was shocked to hear that too.
Their ranking last year in pass rush was 27th. You lost Bud Dupree as well as Calais Campbell on your defensive line. Your defense is crippling you. You were 20th in rushing defense, and you go with a quarterback who you're trying to pull a Green Bay Packers, and that's actually what Raheem Morris said. Quote, "The Green Bay model was something we talked about. It proved to be right last year. Hopefully we'll be right with them." I hate to break it to you, but Green Bay's succession plan is about preserving the legacy of quarterbacks in Green Bay. You went from Favre to Rodgers to now Love looks like a hit. You're going from Matt Ryan to Desmond Ridder to then Kirk Cousins to then Michael Penix. There's no preservation there. Yeah. If you're preserving your the relevancy of your franchise, you've had one singular season out of the past 6 where you didn't win 7 games because you won 4. The past 6 seasons, you averaged 6.5 wins. Kirk Cousins, I guarantee you, will raise that number a decent amount. But right now, you're not competing for a Super Bowl. You're competing to not be god-awful.
Yeah.
Because if you were seriously competing for playoff wins and potential Super Bowls, you fill a gap in your roster, which is defensive line and edge. Hell, you might even want to get a cornerback because the cornerback you have opposite of, Jesse Bates, I believe, A.J. Terrell, is Clark Phillips III. He ranked 86 out of 168. So he's middle of the pack. So if you really want to fill a hole, 85th, even worse, 88th in coverage grade out of 126. Even worse than that. Bottom quarter of cornerbacks.
Penix was surprised. He said he was shocked that he got picked by the Falcons.
Yeah.
He didn't think it would happen. He said, I'm preparing to learn from Cousins. He was the runner-up for the Heisman Trophy last year, won the Maxwell Award. He's one of only 2 quarterbacks to pass for more than 4,900 yards in 23, 4,600 in 22. First since Mahomes to do that. The Falcons said they believe they have the talent to win now and won't have a chance to draft this high in the future. Come on, they don't know that. Their defense stinks. Right? They can't be sure they've got the talent to go deep into the playoffs this coming year. It's crazy. I don't get it.
Well, there's really nothing to get. What's funny is that Penix didn't even have a top 30 visit with Atlanta. All they did was have a 45-minute workout. Atlanta attended a 45-minute workout and met him at the combine. He didn't go to one of those extra meet days like J.J. McCarthy did or Drake May did. Yeah. Caleb Williams only had 1, and that was just with the Bears, but that was expected.
They could have had Dallas Turner.
You could have. You could have had Jared Verse.
Yeah.
You could have had Laiatu Latu, who could have been the best edge rusher.
Yeah, and as you say, by the time Penix gets to play, the top skill players will all be ready for free agency.
Yeah.
Right? They need to put a team together to win now, and they don't have the talent on defense to take them deep into maybe even get to the playoffs. Well, they should have taken a defensive player.
You're in the worst division in football, so if you don't get to the playoffs with Kirk Cousins in any of his 3 to 4 years, that's on you.
Yeah.
Like that. No, not even on you. That's on Kirk Cousins. But here's what really doesn't make sense to me. You signed a 35-year-old quarterback coming off an Achilles injury to then draft a quarterback with a serious injury history.
Yeah, 2 ACLs, both of the same leg. And then two shoulder injuries, left and right.
Right. Left is his throwing shoulder. That's the separated shoulder. And then so he's had 4 consecutive seasons of season-ending injuries. Now, he played 6 years of college football because of eligibility and whatnot. But 2018, torn right ACL. 2019, dislocated shoulder, his right shoulder, not his throwing shoulder. 2020, torn right ACL again. 2021, separated throwing shoulder. So he has a significant injury history. So you signed a 35-year-old quarterback who just is coming off an Achilles injury, signed him to a $45 million a year deal, 4 years, $180 million with $100 million guaranteed, to then draft a guy who, yes, albeit he was very healthy with his time at Washington, but he has 4 years where his season ended quite short. He played very, very few games until it ended at Indiana.
Yeah.
So this doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It doesn't. It doesn't make a lot of sense to anybody.
Fontenot, the guy who made this decision, along with Morris, said they're thinking about the fans and the organization. Well, I bet the fans were shocked.
Oh, yeah, no.
Do you think the fans thought they were going to pick Michael Penix?
No, and there's a video. I saw it on Instagram, House of Highlights, where when the announcement came up, you could hear the groans and moans of the audience.
Yeah.
Because they even know, why are you drafting a quarterback when you have your franchise one who said literally he wants to retire as a Falcon, that's his last destination? Why are you already saying, yeah, we're going to get off of you in 2 years maybe? Yeah. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, they said they're building a sustained winner for a long time.
No, you're not.
Well, I don't think so. When you pick the player that's not going to see the field maybe for 4 years, you need a lot of help on defense. And to get deep into the playoffs, you got to have a great defense.
let's just say, for all intents and purposes, that Kirk Cousins plays very well his entire 4 years. That means in that fourth year, and Penix does not see the field, hypothetical situation, if Kirk Cousins is a perennial deep playoff contender, hypothetical, completely, although Kirk Cousins sucks in the playoffs, I think he's 1-3. Dak Prescott has more wins than him. But let's just say he keeps making, a lot of NFC divisional games, maybe 1 or 2 NFC championship games, and that's in 4 years. That means that Michael Penix's first year starting would be his 5th year option year. You would need to give him his 5th year option the year before he even plays a single snap for you.
It's crazy. And you've got all those skill guys, Robinson, Pitts, Drake London. They'll all be ready for a new contract.
The Darnell Mooney, Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Jesse Bates, all of them will be free agents, or they would need to sign a 5th year option. And also Jake Matthews, your incredible left tackle as well. All those will either be 5th year options or unrestricted free agents by that year. So you need to sign them either the year before or figure something out, because it's not going to look good for you if you go into potentially Michael Penix's first year and the sustained success you're looking for from Penix and all the guys who you were looking at to maintain that success are gone besides maybe 1 or 2 plus Penix. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
None.
This is a bad decision to start off with.
Bad.
I guarantee you that Atlanta fans are not exactly happy about this, nor should they be, because their defense is still going to be, I would say, not great. It wasn't poor, but you couldn't stop the run very well. Your passing defense was okay because you had a couple nice pieces, but your defensive front now is seriously suffering because you had an opportunity actually to get a number of great defensive people, and reportedly you actually tried to trade back up into the teens to draft Latu, who was the first defensive player off the board at 15 to the Colts.
And couldn't get it done.
Couldn't get it done. And then not only that, you also lost Dallas Turner to 17 to Minnesota.
Yeah.
So it's not a great look right now for Atlanta. We'll have to wait and see. It's going to be fascinating to watch this season how Atlanta does, whether or not Kirk Cousins is locked in and focused.
Yeah, well, he's all upset now. Good way to go, Falcons leadership. Could have had Bill Belichick. Upset Kirk Cousins, drafted a player who will probably not see the field for 4 years, and you'll have to make a decision about whether you're going to give him a 5th year option when you never even seen him play. Great job. Excellent job.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, if you want to check out the full episode, make sure you click the I in the top right-hand corner right now. If you want to listen to this show anywhere you go, make sure you go to anchor.fm/The Harvey Hour or anywhere you get your podcasts.